Hello, YouTube, and welcome back to the Eternal Dawn. It is I, Straw Hat Lucas, captain of the crew, and we are so excited today to get to the next topic in this little series we've been doing, and that is the best cook in One Piece. More specifically, which of these chefs could handle the heat that is HELLBAF'S kitchen? Let's start out by introducing the crew. First up is Mr. NoChillDill, frontline combatant and vice captain of the Eternal Dawn. How are we doing today, Dill? I don't know why I said that like a question.
What is up? Yo, what is up? It's your boy NoChillVex here once again for another cook-off stream. No, I'm kidding. That's still. But yeah, we are here for a cook-off stream where we cook on the cooks of One Piece. You know, who can do their job the best, and most importantly, as Captain Lucas said, who can survive the HELLBAF kitchen?
Couldn't have said it better myself, my man. Could not have said it better myself. Next up, the historian and first mate of the crew, Mr. Kube of the Red Sea.
What's up, guys? I'm Vex of the Red Sea. I'm very pumped for this stream, So, who is going to be the best cook that can deal with HELLBAF'S kitchen? Really, it's going to be a tough one, and I'm so excited to get into it.
Next up is a man who is like a brother to me, my closest friends, the head chef and cook of the Eternal Dawn, Mr. NoChillDill. I mean, vexyz the Lurking Legend.
Swear to God. What's good, YouTube? It's your boy vexyz the Lurking Legend. Well, apparently we're all vexyz the Lurking Legend, but you can just call us Vex. Go subscribe to our channel, link in the description. We got group 2 coming back next week, and a few of the players here are present. I'm ready to cook. This is kind of like a pretty important stream for me, specifically with my role being the head cook of the crew, and I got the big ass chef hat and everything. So I'm hype. Can't wait to get into it with all y'all.
I'm hype as well. Very, 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 very hype as well. I knew you were going to bring that up immediately about being the cook, and then this is a cook appreciation stream. You know what that means, guys? We get to kiss vexyz's butt all stream. Next up, the musician of the crew. Me and Josh actually just recorded the first episode of a new series that will be premiering later tonight, called Weekly Reads. Yes, where we go over the weekly reads that me and Josh read together. It was a very good time recording, but yeah, I'm going to pass it over to him, Mr. Joshua Vykthor, the musician.
What's good, YouTube? It's a boy. And yeah, check out the series when it comes out. It's some of the manga I read weekly.
Yeah, Josh reads way too many mangas weekly for us to do a series on that.
Some of his mangas, it's basically 0.0001% of the manga he reads per week.
We covered 4 different mangas, and that was literally a fraction of Josh's power.
You think that's my limit?
We're just in the business of stealing each other's identities. That's what we're doing.
It's exactly. Identity theft done.
Oh my God.
Straw Hat Vex is here with another
crazy.
No, cooking addiction.
So I think that to start it off, we want to, as usual, establish what makes a chef or a cook, before we start spitting all of our takes, right?
Yeah, of course. I think cook is one of the most integral positions in One Piece. If I'm being honest, it seems to be a foundation for you to build around. Because you have to have good food. Like the person who's making your food, especially on a pirate ship, going to sea and everything, they gotta be like an integral part of the crew.
Yeah, basically it's needed for survival.
Yeah, yes. we were shown like one of the first things that everybody knows about pirates, even before you get into One Piece, when you're like a kid and you just hear about just like little legends and stuff, and like it's like, you know, the whole scurvy and stuff like that's literally part of the job of the cook, is to make sure that, you know, that like the crew has enough nutrition to keep going and doing what they do. So I think that a good enough cook could even supplement like a doctor outside of like straight combat like purposes, you know what I mean, like stitching up like after like wounds and whatnot. But like it's a super important job, and I love that One Piece has had a pretty decent focus on it.
Yeah, me and Dill and Kube were talking the other day about cooks and stuff, and like how a lot of them will also be the ones to identify poisonous materials and stuff on islands because they are looking for, you know, what flora and fauna is acceptable to eat and stuff. So like I think the cook role is something very, very important. My only wish is that the Straw Hats actually had a good cook. No, I'm joking.
Wow.
I'm not starting this Sanji slander
No.
necessarily.
But something that is definitive of like a good cook or chef, and those two are distinct, but we'll count both in the running for the sake of today's stream. But you know, it's like you cook for a living, and you also like provide for your crew their survival and stuff like that. So it's like it's not just like, oh, you have cooked a meal once or twice or like something like that. Like, but if you are like the sole, you know, provider of sustenance for your whole crew, or if that is like your full occupation, if you're not like a part of a crew proper, then I think you could qualify as a good cook or a chef, right?
Yeah, I agree. I think we discussed before the stream too as a crew, just to let the audience in on it. We are only doing about 2 to 3 candidates apiece because there is actually just a lack of knowledge on a lot of the cooks in One Piece. So I think defining what a cook is was the right move to do first again. So who wants to begin? If we go in order of stream, it would be Dill up first. Well, me up first, but I'll go last. So Dill up first. Dill, who was your first candidate for cook of all cooks?
I kind of want to do it for the memes. I want to steal Cube's thunder, but I won't. So I'm gonna go out and throw out a first one. You know, even though we're talking about the broad generalization of cooks being able to do a whole bunch of work, this still wouldn't be very far if they didn't have their own niche or specialty for cooking, right? Because if you can make eggs, you can make dishes that involve eggs.
I would agree.
I was waiting for some agreements, but I guess not. Nobody
Yeah,
wants
I
to
said no,
agree.
yeah, I agree.
Yeah. I thought it was another punchline. That's why.
No, that. Well, even so, you guys are supposed to laugh. Gosh.
Bruh, crazy.
Starting
kill
off
it.
strong. We have to go with the man himself, and Knack did touch on it in the chat a little bit because I would eat those nose noodles as well. We got to give it to Wanzi, bro. Think of the amount of dishes he can make just because he can input raw ingredients into his body and force his body to make noodles like it's nothing. Bro's just with it like that. You know? Think about it. You could have ramen one night. You can have soba the next night. The possibilities are endless with this man. And it's all dependent on...
Possibility.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
man.
sorry.
It's kind of a little bit doughy, but you know, we got there in the end, you know?
We got yolks today, yo.
we had to come with the food puns, you know?
Oh my god, this stream is gonna get wild. I can already feel it.
You guys remember
No,
that
bro.
one time I made bread puns for 3 hours?
Yeah, let's-
Yeah, I remember
Since
that.
we're talking
I
about
remember
onesie,
the
let's not, okay?
Okay.
I remember the time we made bread puns for 3 weeks, Vex. 3 hours was nothing.
Oh, you know me so well.
He said, "Is this a challenge?"
For like, I respect Onesie. He has purposed his like whole being to become one with the food. He is like actually like a living machine that can produce this stuff, and I respect that dedication to the craft. It's an immense amount of skill. Obviously it's life return. That's a semi kikon or whatever. Like, it's the dude is not to be trifled with when it comes to messing around and tussling in the kitchen. I completely agree. But from a sanitary standpoint alone, yikes.
Let's give it up.
So
Yeah,
that's
he
the
breaks
fact
every
too.
rule.
is he may produce it. That doesn't mean it's cooked, you know? So it can still be further cooked from there to remove all of the bacteria, all the byproducts, and all the non-natural.
I mean, it's natural. It's just not the natural you want. Like, that said, I have to give it up to him for having the resilience to be able to force himself to swallow flour. Like,
Yeah, that shit's rough.
Yeah.
That's rough.
That is
That's
very
rough.
true.
as someone who's been in kitchens for a lot of his adult life, you know, as a cook and stuff, like swallowing flour,
Also, you gotta respect, like, there's like a whole thing in kitchens, like in fast-paced kitchens, like no idle hands. Like, you gotta keep moving, you know, like full hands in, full hands out type of stuff. You gotta make sure that you're always preparing something. And this man literally has no idle nose hairs. Like, he's putting every part of his body to work when it comes to like so like I said, I respect the grind. But like, for one, man, it's so gross. I don't know. Like, even though, yeah, he is still cooking it and stuff, it's just like, I can't. Oh God, I can't. And then he used it as like a Gundam, he had like a ramen Gundam suit or something, and like
bro.
the noodles was touching the floor and stuff. Like, you can't cook out.
Yeah, that's not sanitary at all.
You can't cook everything out. You know what I mean? But like, I respect Wanzi. I think that he is a very, very capable. Like, I consider him like a machine, but he's still part man, and that's gross because those noodles are coming out of his nose. It's like a, I don't know.
My thing is with Grand Line Mary or eBay version of Mary, is even though it's good to have that, and my problem is that if the guy is sick on that week and has a snotty nose, you're sick as well. That's my only thing.
And also, it's the Grand Line. How many sicknesses or whatever you're not aware you're having?
Exactly, man.
Yeah, but you got to think about it also from that aspect. He's in the Grand Line, which makes the cooking feats that much more impressive. Because it's not like he's a 2-bit one-off chef that only has one flow. No, bro. Noodles can be used in everything, bro. He knows what he's doing.
I agree. Ramen Kempo is very impressive. And ramen is a very tough dish. Even if you're a specialized, you know, like cook or chef, ramen has a lot of different variables. There's a ton of make it or break it. It is a very complete dish when it comes to like skill, like all aroundedness and whatnot. I think that he's solid, but I don't know if I would put him as like the cook of all cooks. You know what I mean? But he is.
I mean,
you got to
that
respect
wasn't
the grind.
That wasn't the contest we were deciding here. I specifically believe that he could survive in HELLBAF'S kitchen, which was our criteria.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he's a good candidate. He's a good candidate. I won't lie.
I think when it comes to like baking and other things, like, you know, this guy's probably going to be a little bit falling behind, but I think he could definitely do well in certain aspects.
Stream. They can't hear me, but you can. I'm sorry, guys. I had to go get a snack. The minute we started talking about food, I was like, me hungry.
He said, "Ooh, booger noodles. Give
Yeah,
me some
exactly.
of that." Like,
But no, I think Wanzi's a strong candidate for surviving in HELLBAF'S kitchen. As long as they want ramen or like spaghetti or some pasta or something, like he can handle pasta night. You know what I mean? Like for sure.
That's what
I
I'm
don't think
saying,
there's
like-
anyone better for pasta night.
There's different variations he can do. It's not like he's sticking to the same flow.
I mean, you know what they say: the pen is mightier than the sword.
Listen, we got 10
What?
places to put
It's a
somebody.
it's a style of pasta. It's a type of pasta, penne. That's why.
oh, penne. I guess.
Yeah.
That was very highbrow.
That was good. That was a good cube. So we have 10 places. Like I said, we each have 2 candidates. So this has turned into a top 10 also. Where would we place
Wow.
1Z? Because I don't think he'd go all the way at the bottom. I definitely don't think he's like a 7 or above, but I don't think he'd go at the bottom.
I mean, thinking of the next cooks you're gonna bring up, I think he's gonna be down there.
I think it'll
Yeah,
be like I think the safest place to put him right now is like at a 5, like as a baseline, because we don't know who all is gonna spit who. We could all spit like LS takes and onesie could be like the top one of the ones that we list. So until we get further, I really don't know where we can't really solidify that without knowing the full roster.
That's fair.
Yeah,
That's fair.
my decision to pick him was not based on a top 10. My decision to pick him was based on the fact that I fully believe he could survive HELLBAF'S kitchen.
I can agree with that. All right, so let's put him at number 5 then, for the moment. In there. Next up, in order of stream, will be Q.
Okay. So guys, I had to think long and hard, you know, like what kind of cook would survive HELLBAF'S kitchen? I said it has to be a cook that not only is a great cook, but you know, people have to be happy. There needs to be peace, especially in a place where people love to fight, you know. The giants of HELLBAF, they're just Garp, but a giant version, you know. They just love fighting. And so even though that character is now dead, I believe that he would have been the perfect candidate. And think about this, right? The world of One Piece was in peace for so long because of a great man called Edward Newgate, Whitebeard. The moment Thatches dies, Blackbeard affects, Ace gets captured, which results in the unalive of both Whitebeard and Ace. Then there's the payback war. Whitebeard loses his empire. Fishman Island then becomes a storyline where it's worse for Luffy. So in a way, we can say that Thatch being died. They lose the cook. They lose the balance, the one that could keep peace in the One Piece world. And that's why for me, I think Thatch is the best candidate for being the best cook for HELLBAF'S kitchen. He's not just a cook; he's a savior.
Yeah, it's
I'm
kind of
done.
wild. I mean,
Yes, he's
I mean,
certainly
you
a
know,
cook.
Thatch is absolutely a cook. That's his whole.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
was his
he was a
whole
cook.
description. Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
he was a
uh,
cook of the Whitebeard Pirates.
Of the Whitebeard Pirates.
He was a
Yeah,
cook.
and I mean, he was close with Teach, and Teach is a big old boy, so you know he'd be cooking a good amount of food. You know,
Yeah.
and like, and
So,
was it
I do
Whitebeard
have-
like 18 feet tall or something? That dude's got to be able to eat a ton. You saw the sake
Okay.
saucer that he shared. Like, this dude could put some stuff away.
I do have one counteraction to Q's long-winded wind-up for Thatch. He said that after Thatch was unalived, Blackbeard deserted. Blackbeard deserted because Thatch was unalived.
I mean, if
Because-
you think he only deserted after Thatch was unalive, so you know it's all about the semantic of the situation, you know.
yeah, he
They're-
stole
they're-
food from the cook and then deserted.
But that's the whole
Yeah.
chicken and the egg situation, you know. So the whole chicken and
But,
egg.
like,
where, you know-
Which came first? Blackbeard's
important to
betrayal.
That
yeah,
like,
exactly.
it was stated that Whitebeard's health did start to decline significantly.
Exactly.
More after Thatch's cooking stopped.
Yeah, I
because
wasn't
of
arguing
him
that.
being
point.
alive.
I was
Yeah.
just
No, I
arguing
just think-
the timeline of Thatch unaliving and Blackbeard deserting.
Yeah, man. And think about it, and think about the what the fishermen did as a partnership was connect to food with Big Mom, meaning that most likely if Thatch was still there, they would have still stayed with the Whitebeard Pirates. They would be willing to risk it, Thatch is a savior, guys. He's more than a cook. He's a cook that will save the world. That's why he deserves to be the best cook of Hell's Bath Kitchen.
Save a cheerleader, save the world, save Thatch, save the world.
Bro. I think that it's really interesting because the Whitebeard Pirates were shown in such an interest. There's a little bit of what, like, I hate to say this, but it feels like inconsistencies with some of their like power levels and like abilities and things like that. But there is no disputing the fact that Thatch did have to cook for like 14 different like divisions worth of like, and like then there were all the allied captains and stuff that were probably showing up every now and then. Like we saw the party that happened post Roger and Whitebeard crews clashings and stuff like that. Like, he was throwing down in the kitchen for that. So it's like it's really, really like power levels and whatnot. We don't really know anything, but like as far as like cooking abilities, I think it's like undeniable that he has to be pretty high up there.
Mhm.
Just based off of the company that he kept.
Shout out John Sherrod on all social medias and SSJ Cody both just joined the stream. What up, boys?
What up,
Yo.
what up, guys?
What's good, y'all?
Listen, but the main problem is though, did he ever make it to HELLBAF? Do you guys think he ever cooked on HELLBAF?
Oh, dude.
Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, it depends if the Whitebeard Pirates. With the Whitebeard Pirates, we're not sure. We know for sure Wano because.
But we
some of
know
the
he was used to cooking for giant dudes. Like,
yeah, Whitebeard.
Yeah.
Man, just
Whitebeard. Like, yeah. So I think that puts him high up there.
How do you think it went when Little Oars Jr., an allied
true.
Whitebeard, like how do you think it went when he showed up and sat at the dinner table with Whitebeard himself, and Thatch was just like cracking his knuckles like, all right, it's time to cook.
Yeah, time to sit down, time to make a meal.
Yeah.
What do you think, hypothetically, what do you guys think that Thatch's like main style of cooking was?
He kind of dresses a little posh. Like I feel like he's on that gourmet shit. Like he's a bit of an all-arounder, but like that, that very like fine dining, like metaphors and like hors d'oeuvres and shit. You know what I mean?
These are diced potatoes with a tomato reduction. It's just fries and ketchup.
You think he was making hors d'oeuvres for Whitebeard to make him satisfied?
Yeah, dude.
So the thing is, there's multiple different styles of cuisine, and you can pack a whole lot of nutrition, and not everybody's Luffy coated or like Bonnie coated. You know what I mean? There are people with normal sized stomachs.
We've seen Blackbeard, who definitely doesn't have a normal sized stomach.
Yeah, I get you, but I'm just saying, like, there's a lot of bang that can be packaged into just like a little tiny buck when it comes to One Piece foods, and we've seen that like before,
Yeah, I think if he was a gourmet chef, his gourmet, he'd probably do like really gourmet stuff for Blackbeard, right? But then the rest of the crew got like group meals, like big like piles of food that were just like, yeah, here.
Nah, man, he was quality all the way around, man. Catch was the catch.
That was the catch is the greatest catchphrase I've ever heard in my life.
That's hilarious. I think that just with like a Yonka's territory and influence and like the sheer amount of helping hands that were available and stuff like that, I can only assume that they had access to the finest of ingredients in bulk, like tons, so like I would assume that this dude just went to town and made some of the coolest shit that the One Piece world had ever seen, and it was probably delicious. But unfortunately, we don't really have much to go off of outside of context clues, because he did not survive.
Yeah, very long. The another thing I'll say is, as we know, Luffy and Ace love food, right? They go for quality food. If you read the Ace novels, Ace was always next to Thatch. There's a reason why. He wants to be well fed. Just saying.
He's like, yeah, I'm gonna fall asleep and that
Well-
dude's cooking.
Also, Thatch thought that Ace's devil fruit would be perfect for him because he's a cook.
He's not wrong. It's pretty up
Yeah.
there on the list
True
of
as
like
well.
devil fruits. That it
Yeah,
cook
it's true.
quite well.
Actually.
So
Alright,
where
man.
are we? Where are we gonna throw Thatch on the list?
Unalived
he's-
last.
I think that he's definitively skill wise, he would have definitively been above Onesie, but I do think that he's narratively unable to cook anymore, so that's really unfortunate. So I think there's an argument for last. There's an argument for fourth, but like pending, and we'll figure. It's just like I would definitely put him above Onesie if they were in a cook-off together while he was still able to do so. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I hear you
Okay.
guys.
I'm gonna
go
put on
ahead.
my 2 second look at. I'm gonna put my cap of Vex the of the Red Sea. Well, guys, Swillabark's not too far, and Moria is also missing. So just need to get back with Hogback, and Thatch is back in the story, and he'll be in HELLBAF'S kitchen. Just saying.
There we go.
Okay.
Um,
Well, in that case,
So-
top one. No.
Just kidding.
So what I'm hearing is Onesie in 10th and Thatch in 9th.
Okay. Whoa.
Well,
No, I will comfortably put Thatch at 4th, and while we're still, because we're early on, right? We'll
Yeah.
restructure this as we go.
yeah.
I mean,
Uh,
by the name of the stream, like Hell's Kitchen or HELLBAF'S Kitchen, I feel like the afterlife isn't counted out. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
literally in the title.
exactly.
Like,
Yeah, Thatch might lock in 4th place.
Hold on. So this might break the power scale. Do you think he betrayed Whitebeard and is now cooking for Roger?
whoa.
Whoa.
Well, Roger and Whitebeard were friends, so I don't think that this wouldn't even be the first
Yeah.
time he had cooked for Roger.
I mean,
But it
and I
would
won't-
be yet another crew member that Roger stole from Whitebeard.
Okay.
He's taking care of him in the afterlife, and Dill's over here like, that son of a bitch.
Kind of crazy, not gonna
Hey,
lie.
we hit the 30-minute mark at least.
Let's go. Next up is Vex. Vex, hit us with your first take.
Are we not going around like a clock? Would it be Josh
Oh, yeah.
recording the stream?
It would be Josh. I just started at the beginning of the next row.
No, right?
Josh, it's your turn.
Yeah, for my cook, my first cook, I'm gonna say Streisand.
Ooh.
Yeah, the mentor, the man talented enough so he can feed Big Mom daily. Like, also, he's pushing 92. At that age, he still can cook greatly.
Yeah, feeding Big Mom daily is actually quite the feat, even though, like, it depends on if the food he's cooking is just, like, food that he's cooking or cooking with the kaku. Like, if the cook fruit. Because that food tastes like crap from what I remember. Like, it doesn't taste good if he uses this devil fruit.
I mean, it's Big Mom we're talking about, so I think
And-
he's cooking in
and-
legit.
And all of their kids had this big appreciation for food. It takes a big cook to keep 80 kids happy.
Yeah, but all of those kids are also like specialty cooks in their own right. Like, so
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
true.
Yeah, and who
it's
taught
not
them?
like it's not like Strusen is somebody who he is disciplined and he does have like good like training and stuff like that, but like he is not alone in feeding Big Mom. There is like a ton of other people who are helping him literally on the daily. So I won't give
Yeah,
him
but-
that entire feat, but he is the best cook in Totoland. I'll say that.
Yeah, it wasn't always that he had a team behind him. Like,
Yeah.
there had been those early days where he was alone, but still made the Big Mom satisfied.
I think it's a bigger feat that he didn't get eaten by her himself. But like, yeah, like I don't like. I think that he is he's an interesting character narratively, like because he has this devil fruit, but he doesn't necessarily utilize that for like the purposes of like
I mean,
specifically Big Mom has like she does have a refined palate.
yeah.
She
What
would know if she
what
were
is the
eating
fruit?
shitty food.
Yeah, what if he uses the fruit on other food, like make it tastier?
It doesn't make it tastier. It makes
I
it
mean,
taste
no,
worse.
not make it tastier, but control the texture of the food and everything, like make it perfect. In that sense,
I mean, it could.
I think
yeah, the fruit
Yeah.
is still useful.
My thing is that,
But-
like, if he's, I think it's only inanimate objects. Like, if he like takes a log, like we saw in the series, and does it with that, I think that's when it tastes bad. I don't know if we've seen how it actually like affects real food.
Yeah,
Have we?
So
we
that's
haven't.
the thing is, he doesn't use his devil fruit on real food because that would kind of invalidate the point of using the devil fruit because what it does is turns non-organic materials into edible organic materials.
Yes. This is true.
Yeah, so I think the main purpose of it is he can transform the ingredients that he creates out of inorganic stuff, and it doesn't taste good right away. But you know, a good cook or chef can make those ingredients, like pair them properly, prepare them properly, and season it and whatnot, and make them taste good. And I think that is a skill, absolutely. I think that it's not quite hacks. Like this is not hacks at all. It's like it's actually potentially more of a challenge. And I will be the first to say, like, absolutely, Streusen has a ton of good knowledge and technique and experience, obviously. I don't know about him versus Thatch, just because of like the level of renown. They're both cooks for Yonko, basically. So like,
yeah, but also compare Big Mom to Whitebeard. Like one of the other is more known for food and liking
but
food.
he's
let's
also
bring up the
had
point.
like 86 like plus different, and there's people who aren't even Big Mom's kids who are also chefs that are brought in, and we see like full teams of people supporting him. So he's not doing it alone.
Yeah, like the
Yeah, but
WCI 32, I think
And
they're
we-
called. It's a crew of like 32 chefs. Go ahead, Josh. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to
Yeah,
cut you off.
but at the same time, we know that with Tesh is the same case. Like he also had cooks for like he wasn't cooking for an entire fleet by his own. Like we know that Marco had doctors under him. Like it's the same thing with Tesh.
Yeah, we just don't really get shown it at all. And there's evidence that upon Thatch's like disappear, or, you know, what happened to him, like, you know, there's like actual fallout. Whereas I think like with Streusen gone, Big Mom would still get fed. Toto Land would still be fine. You know what I mean? Like I don't think that he is quite as integral. Like and so like I don't know. Like we know so little about Thatch, but from what we've seen from Streusen, I would honestly think that Thatch is the superior Yonko cook, like in my opinion.
And I think it's close, if I'm being honest. But I kind of agree with
It's
Josh.
close.
Just experience is everything. You know that, Vex. Like, the more you learn about cooking, the better cook you will be. And Streusen has had years and years and years of cooking experience. And of course, yeah, there are those younger cooks who can come in and upset things, and I think there some of those will be mentioned today here. But with Streusen's knowledge of culinary arts, I think he takes it over Thatch. If we got more feats from Thatch at some point, like cooking wise, I would concede and say that Thatch is better. But I think it's close, man. I think I think he's above him.
And also, you know that Streusen, he was the one who made the first wedding cake for Big Mom's. At the tea party.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And if he wasn't knocked out and heavily injured, he would make the second cake easily.
You know what I mean? The thing that, like, kind of like I'm getting at, like, is that, like, yes, he has experience and technique and whatnot, but like, look at like from a nutrition standpoint, which is absolutely something to take into consideration in this conversation. Big Mom was not always as big as she was when we saw her in present day. You know, there was Thinlin and stuff like that, and like so there is like kind of a correlation with his food being unhealthy in the fact that we've only seen him prepare like massive, crazy amounts of sweets.
Ooh, that is
Whereas
true.
specifically Whitebeard's health was being kept afloat by Thatch's. So I think that makes Thatch the superior chef in my opinion. Like that's the main argument there.
I'm gonna add this. With Strusen, he is a good cook, but with Strusen, you get you inherit the will of D with him, the will of diabetes, the amount of sugar he puts in the food.
That's crazy.
The Wilfred Brimley will.
One is a preparation of excess, whereas the other is extravagance.
I mean,
but
what
not
even
necessarily
excess is that we only saw him cook the wedding cake. That's all the sweets he made in the series on camera.
A wedding cake that's multiple stories tall, you know, like that's kind of crazy, like to me.
Yeah, but I'm saying that's at least something that we saw him, and we know that he was with Big Mom since day one, even when she was skinny. Like we saw him in the God Valley flashback. He was there. At the bottom of the panel.
That means he probably cooked for the Rocks Pirates as well.
Yeah, exactly.
That kind of changes things up a little bit as well.
Yeah, if we only saw him on screen make the wedding cake and whatever he did in the flashback with the log, like that still doesn't mean he's only making those. Like that we didn't see him make anything on screen.
I'll say this: the cooking feats of Thatch are based on the Ace novel. So even though Oda canonized it wasn't in the canon story. So I'll give that.
Should we let
just because he's most known for making a cake doesn't mean he's automatically diabetes. Like he only makes cakes and sweets.
No. I made that joke because literally a whole cake before wasn't like that. Look at it has so much sugary. It's the sugary theme of a whole cake.
Yeah.
That was the meme.
But that can also be like as Big Mom got older, her like affinity towards sweets just grew bigger and bigger and bigger. You know what I mean? Like, and so she grew bigger and bigger and bigger, thicker and thicker. Dang, Lemlin, call me.
All right, calm down. Like so, I think it goes to like the whole Oda drew like the parallel futures for like each of the Straw Hats and stuff like that. While she was still Thinlin, her dream was still alive, and like that was still her in her best timeline. Something along the way kind of messed with her will, her mindset, and then what we actually ended up getting was Darkest Timeline Lin. Just like how there's two different versions of Luffy's futures that are looming, and are we going to get the good future or the bad future? Like we got the bad future for Big Mom, and so I think that yes, a lot of that is that the ball is in her end of the court, but like Strusen's not going to say no to like her saying like cook me sweets right now. So it's like I get like he has the capabilities to cook anything under the sun. I totally that's kind of like what I opened with. He has a lot of technique, and it's just like that. I think that there is just something to be said about like Thatch being able to keep his Yonko alive, whereas the cooking of whole cake entirely, not just Strusen, but just all of that was like something that was actively making Big Mom less healthy, I feel like.
I mean, from what we know, one of the Yonko lived more than the other.
I've made a poll in chat to decide this.
Damn.
I do have a question though.
Oh, hit us with it.
Where was Strusen in the God Valley flashback?
Right at the bottom right corner, in the big spread.
Yeah. Barely noticeable, just like in real time. Yep.
My God.
But there,
My God.
but there.
Yeah. No, so my original point I was going to bring up was touched on by Vex, though, is that nutritional value wise, there's an obvious, clear distinction about who is the superior cook. And in terms of surviving HELLBAF'S kitchen, you would need nutritional factor and not base sugar content and intake of calories to be able to burn off that, because it wouldn't be healthy.
Oh, shit.
You wouldn't be able to sustain yourself for long enough in HELLBAF'S kitchen, which again is the criteria.
And what makes you think that he wouldn't make up for the for that? Like he just made the cake once. That doesn't mean he automatically he's the sweets guy.
No, I'm not referring to the cake. I'm referring to the fact that Big Mom's health has been on the decline for the greater half of 38 years since the God Valley flashback, and he is the executive cook of Whole Cake Island, Big Mom's territory.
I mean,
which
that,
through
another
direct
thing.
correlation would be that he is the one supervising the meals that are being provided to Big Mom, and her palate has been increasingly gathering towards sweets this entire time, which is why she goes crazy whenever she doesn't get them.
Oh, Strussen's at 6 votes, guy. Or it's at 67% to 33% with Strussen in the lead right now in the chat.
I think
This is getting
I
spicy.
totally forgot something. But when we were first introduced to Big Mom and Strussen, they were on HELLBAF'S.
Yeah.
He had literally already been at HELLBAF'S,
Cooking.
potentially cooking for giants, but he wanted to get the heck out of there. But he has had like 63 years plus time to like develop since then. But no, that actually does. I still think it's very close, but this probably squeaks him a little bit ahead from where I was previously placing him. You know what I mean? He was literally already at HELLBAF. I
Already
forgot
out there.
about that.
I mean,
I
I'll
think-
be honest with you. The only thing that might deter him is not his cooking skills, is him connected to Big Mom. Don't forget, Giants of HELLBAF, if they remember a young Lindan, then they were not very, she was basically told to get lost. What she did. So at best, I think that is the worst that can happen to him. Not about his skills, but more about his connection to Big Mom.
Yeah, Dill, where were all your alts?
Rigged vote.
I didn't use them because I felt like if Thatch would have pulled ahead, I immediately would have got slandered for using my alts to rig the vote.
No, I'm glad it was close. Like I honestly, for me, it's a toss up between the two. I'm glad it was close, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I won't lie. Even as I brought a touch, for me, Strussen is a big Yonko cook as well. It makes sense.
Yeah,
What do you mean? Both of them were Yonko cooks.
Yeah, that's what I said.
As well. He
As
literally
well.
said as well. Bruh.
So I moved down the list a little bit. So I put Strussen at 4, Thatch at 5, and Onesie at 6 as like a good, because that Strussen in the top 3 just didn't feel right yet. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I get you.
Doesn't feel right.
it just didn't feel right. Next up, then, that leads us to Vex. Who is your first candidate for a cook who could survive in HELLBAF'S kitchen?
Oh man. Well, I gotta say, all this talk about Yonko cooks, I was honestly worried for a second because I thought y'all were gonna take my boy. I thought y'all were about to say a Yon Cook himself that
I
we
knew this
heard
was
of
coming.
recently in an SBS. My boy Winter Cuisine Komakov. This is gotta be one of the aside from what's going on with the revs now, somebody who has for his entire career had the most access to the most fanciest and these people are like the pickiest eaters. This guy would be assassinated on the spot if he didn't execute flawlessly multiple times over and stuff like that. Like this is one of the, declared by Oda himself, the big 4 of all of the cooks that the Marines have available to them. Does that put him ahead all of the pirate cooks? I'm not sure. We're here to debate it now, though. But it looks it looked like Kizaru was smacking on that ramen on the ship, and
Yeah, and
you know,
Saturn even enjoyed the meal as well.
exactly his last meal. You know.
Yeah. Oh my God. Are you saying Saturn's dead?
Oh
He said
my
my icon on stream though. Like
That's hilarious. But we know even less about Komakov than we do specifically about like even Thatch, like one of the more esoteric people that we're probably gonna have named today. But by context clues alone, this is not a man to be trifled with. See what I did there? Because that's the food. but like I think that when it comes to being completely all well-rounded and utilizing the best ingredients that you have available to you, and making sure that you are executing to your peak performance every single time. Plus, he looks like a kind of older dude. I don't think he's as up in the years as Strusen, but I think that hierarchically, whatever word I'm trying to say there, I put him above even Thatch and Strusen when it comes to specifically skill. Otherwise, he would be iced already. He would not be in the story. He wouldn't be cooking for a Gorosei, you know, and an admiral. So I think this is him, y'all. This is a contender for top 3 slot, in my opinion. What do y'all think?
The Yan cook, yeah, he's a Yan cook. Like you said, he cooks for the Gorosei. I think he's a contender for it. I wish we saw more of him, if I'm being honest, because we did see.
I know.
We saw a cook recently in Marie Joie get executed for not performing correctly.
I think that might have been another young cook.
Yeah,
honestly.
I saw that going around. That like, is this one of the Yan cooks that Oda had talked about before? Because we have 3 of them named, right? Koda, Kyoji, and Komakov.
Nope, just Komakov.
Just Komakov. He's the only one of the 4 great cooks. There are other marine cooks that are known.
Oh yeah. No, those
of
aren't Yan cooks.
But,
yeah.
Yeah, he is the only, and we could assume that they go with the seasons: spring, summer, fall, and winter. And what we do know of the seasons is that winter is the harshest of the climates, where only the a lot of the fresh ingredients are going to be more scarce. You have to rely on wild game and fishing and stuff like that, but produce is going to be mostly potatoes. And so like this guy is somebody who I believe, maybe this is just my headcanon, but let me cook. That's what this stream's all about, right? Is that he is somebody who's able to cook with the bare minimum of ingredients and make it world-class quality.
Yeah.
Because of him being the winter chef.
And not only that, but like that is such good inspiration for anyone. Is like, if you underperform in the slightest, a taste is slightly off, you will die. You're going to become a perfectionist. It's going to be out of necessity as well.
Dude.
Plus, you're going to have the most expensive ingredients across the world.
Yeah.
What's that? What I mean? Like,
I thought you were going to relate it to real news.
I'm going to keep it to myself. I'm going to keep it to myself.
I thought you were going to relate it to real life. If you underperform in the slightest, you will be taken out. Don't worry.
oh my god!
If you ever hear Lucas launching his own restaurant, don't be a cook for him. Don't be a cook for him.
You won't catch me slacking. That's all that means. But no, I think it's also something to say that outside of like 1 or 2 celestial dragons, and like a few like of the Gorosei, they all pretty large and in charge. Am I right? Like they all kind of frumpy. Like they're eating good.
Dude,
they are potato shaped.
The fact that he was such an ease for a group of people who unalive people because for asking a question.
Honestly.
Yeah, it's a feat. Just to be alive and to be entrusted. And he did look like, from what I remember in the chapters, he was well relaxed. He wasn't stressed.
He's a chill dude. He's got his shades on. He's got a smile on his face. He's just cruising. I respect it. I think he's top 3. I absolutely do.
I feel comfortable putting him in the 3rd place. Dill, Josh, what are you guys thinking?
Yeah. He needs to be a perfectionist to cook for Celestial Dragon.
Yeah, exactly. It's one of those situations where the people you cook for is more of a proof that you're a great cook than what you actually do.
Yeah, and I mean, when you think about like there was a certain spin-off like bit where some bum cook was like being told about like these like fancy world-class recipes and stuff like that that are like supposed to be really hard and only the top chefs can execute and stuff like that, and he pulled it off through plot armor. That's fine. But this is the kind of person who would have been able to like craft that recipe and master it. You know what I mean? Like all of these like myths and legends and lore and things like that, they had to come from someplace. And I feel like this is the caliber of chef that those like the whole One Piece cookbook and stuff like that. Like not all of those recipes are just like what the Straw Hats are eating. Some of them are like more worldly recipes. And I feel like this is the kind of guy who's bringing those dishes to the table.
Oh yeah, I agree. I have placed him at number 3 for the moment until we get some more cans out. Hi. So next up is me, actually. Good old Straw Hat Lucas. I actually have our first candidate for number 1. Oh, I can't hear you guys. That's not good.
Yes.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I can hear you guys. Crazy. But yeah, I have the first candidate, the first number 1 candidate, and it is Goldberg of the new Giant Warrior Pirates. The question is, who can survive in HELLBAF'S kitchen? My man cooks for giants already. Not only that, but he's a goat. He helped Hydruden and Gerd on Ohra after the destruction of Ohra get the books out of the lake. He
I don't
is part
think
of
he
the
was
Straw Hat.
there.
Yeah, he was confirmed. Confirmed he was there. He was in the water. He was the one in the water picking the books up.
Weren't those the new water pirates?
That's who I'm
The
talking
ones
about.
that
The
are-
new,
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
You
alright.
wanna-
Hydruden and yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
yeah, Goldberg is their cook, which means he is also a cook underneath the Straw Hat Grand Fleet banner. So we could see potentially him helping prepare a meal for the Straw Hat Grand Fleet in the series. And like I
He's
said, my
probably
man has
the only competent, cook in the Straw Hat Grand Fleet, in my opinion. Just saying.
and during the time skip, he was part of Buggy's delivery service as an S tier mercenary. So we know he has combat skills as well. But that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about if he could cook for giants. And my man cooks for giants on the daily.
So
Oh.
that's why. No, he's a good candidate. I won't lie. And him being a giant, he can make bigger proportions than other people.
What was your reasoning? I cut out for a second. I don't know what happened.
No, I made a joke because I was also on the wiki today looking at cooks. I said, someone was on the wiki when you start dropping all the Goldberg, info.
Nah, I'm just a big Goldberg fan, man. No idea what you're talking about.
What is this wiki?
What is Wiki? What is this? I've never heard of this.
It's the safest answer. I don't think it's a number 1 though. Like I don't think he's above Yonko chefs, but I think he's absolutely going to be able to contend. I don't think he's a number 1 runner though, in my opinion.
I don't know, man. You say Yonko, he's under the banner of a Yonko right now. So he technically is a Yonko chef.
Yeah, he's like 3rd string though. You know what I mean?
That don't
Like-
matter. Don't argue the semantics of it. Title is a title, my man.
Yeah, but I mean, Big Mom's kind of giant herself. Like she's like, isn't she like eye to eye with like Oimo and Kashi or something? Like I think Strusen is also like was effectively cooking for a giant for a very long time. And although he didn't have help, I don't know if we have anything else tangible to go off of. as far as this person's feats, other than the fact that they just are a giant. So again, yes, they succeed in withstanding HELLBAF'S kitchen. I don't think they outclass actual like seasoned Yonko cooks, somebody who's been doing it for like 65 plus years. And this guy's probably been cooking for a really long time. Giants live for a long ass time as well, but we don't know
Exactly.
that. You know what I mean?
In answer to your question, no, she is not eye to eye with Oimo and Kashi. Oimo specifically is 52 foot tall, and Big Mom is only 29 feet tall.
He is 63 years old, so he's had
the
some
Giants. The
experience.
Giants are crazy tall. When you actually look in detail, it's ridiculous.
Because I mean, if you said Goldberg is 63 years old, Strusen
Yeah, so
has been cooking
he's like
for
20.
Big Mom for Strusen has been cooking for Big Mom for specifically that many years.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he
the
was
thing
on
is,
HELLBAF when, like, as a baby when Big Mom did all that stuff. Like, he was shown on as a baby in the anime on HELLBAF.
Yeah. So my thing is with Goldberg is the problem is that's what compared to Tasha's Trusen is we can't connect with someone that he has fed. Like we're not sure if he actually. I mean, not redoing Broggy because Broggy has been gone for the last. I mean, they just came back 2 years ago, but they've been gone for like 100 years. So that's a problem I have is we don't have someone specific with. Oh yeah, that like Whitebeard makes sense. How long he survived, you know. Then you think of Big Mom and her family makes sense for Strusen. You know, even Wan Z, you know, and forgot the one of the Gorsey cooks. Forgot his name. Keep forgetting his name all the time.
Kumakov.
Yeah, I'm not going to repeat it because I'm going to butcher it. But thank you. You know, that's the problem with Goldberg is that he just needs one client that he's had, somebody he has well fed. That it brings, you know, that's the only thing he needs. That's my problem. So I would put him on definitely behind Thatch and Strusen because of that.
Yeah, I think he's above Wanzi for sure. Like,
Yeah,
definitely above Wanzi because of this. I don't want to say because of the specialty cooking because I don't think specialty cooking should rule anyone out. But like I feel like Wanzi because of the grossness factor. Yeah, Goldberg that alone puts Goldberg above him.
I mean, just speaking quantities alone, like not even taking the sanitation into account, because like Wanzi is a really, really solid chef. Although like his food is gross, like in my opinion, like he himself is still a man with exquisite technique and dedication to the craft. But like from sheer quantities alone, like based off of like the way that he is producing this food, Wanzi is only going to be able to produce as much food with those techniques that he himself is going to be able to eat first.
Yeah, and also
I don't know if he is going to be able to keep up with giants, you know, like whereas we know for a fact that what's his face Goldberg is keeping up with giants and has been. So that's the only reason why I think he squeaks ahead, but I think it's still close between the two of them.
Between him and Wanzi, I don't know about that.
I'm sorry, Wanzi. What do you know? He's very good at is making noodles. So basically, he has the level of a college student type of cuisine expertise. You know. I mean, at one point, like noodles is, you know what I mean? It's just noodles. What he's saying. So
well, no,
you disrespecting that man. Wanzi is a craftsman. He's an artist.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah. There's an art to making actually like good ramen. Like I know a college student can do some cool stuff with ramen, but when you like go to an actual like ramen house and get some like good ramen, you can tell like the effort that they put into that.
Hey man, listen. I'm just gonna say one day the Giants are gonna say, "Yo, Wanzi, do you have anything else?" Oh, I've got noodles. What else? Noodles. This is my spear. What else do you have? Oh, noodles. Suck.
Noodles are filling, you know. Like, but no, I think just sheer quantity alone. Yeah. Not even accounting for variety of like recipes or for sanitation, just off of quantity alone, I think that is the main argument to put Goldberg over Wanzi. But he's not beating Thatch or Strusen. He's definitely not touching a young cook.
All right, I'll concede and pick Goldberg at 6. Is everyone happy with that?
Yep.
I'm chill.
That brings us back to the top of the rounds. Dill, who's your second choice for cook?
Alright, so I got this person, and a lot of the community might not even know this dude's name. He's a top chef. He's cooked for a member of a Yonko crew. He's cooked for a future Yonko himself. That's why I personally believe that Yoshimoto would be able to survive HELLBAF'S kitchen.
Who?
For those of you
Good.
in this call that in the YouTube chat that are unaware who Yoshimoto is, he is the cook of the restaurant in Alabasta, the Spice Bean, the one that Ace was eating at before getting a smoker launched directly into him from Luffy. Not only did Ace clean this man out of food, he then proceeded to get run into by Luffy, who had him make more food. You know, it speaks volumes whenever you have those two eating one after another to dwindle your supplies, to make you feel inadequate as a chef, that you don't have enough food to be able to cook. But he still made it do. He still
It's
made
a
it
solid
work.
argument.
That
I
is,
get
yeah.
that. Yeah, that's really
I
solid,
mean,
especially
sorry,
with the climate in Alabasta.
So, wait.
Outside of trade, he doesn't have the freshest of ingredients. You know.
So I have to play devil's advocate because the first thing that reminded me, I looked him up, and even though I think he does have the skills, dude was scared of pirates. Do you think he's good? He's gonna be able to
So-
take the pressure of the giants if they get upset with his food.
So
That's my
it's
one counter.
not that. He wasn't afraid of pirates. He was specifically afraid of the fact that Ace had Whitebeard's tattoo on his back, which is a claim to say he is not afraid of pirates. He is afraid of the Yonko, Whitebeard himself.
Fair
And
enough.
as a man chilling, living in Alabasta, it is very, very easy to say that it's understandable to be afraid of a Whitebeard Yonko level threat. But if you're cooking for them and you're making the good food for them, there's no reason for them to be mad at you. So he had no reason to be upset with Ace when he was eating his food because Ace was enjoying it. He knew there was no threat to his life.
Served him with a smile.
As soon as Smoker came flying in and knocked Ace out of the way, he got mad at Luffy because it was the fact that he had just damaged the Whitebeard commander, Ace, not knowing, hey, these people are brothers. They know each other.
I ain't gonna lie, this is a solid argument.
Yeah, not only did you have the skill to cook enough food to keep up with these two appetites, but like the fact that the restaurant even had that much food to cook in the first place is kind of crazy to me.
I mean, even if it doesn't, it goes to what some random no-name bum cook told one of the greatest marine cooks ever. When you're out on the seas, you have to use all you have. You don't have room to throw away any wasteful products.
I'm sorry, I'm loving this. No, this guy's solid. I don't know if he's like at like Strusen level, but like this is
Oh, I think
definitely
he's
like
above.
impressive.
I think he's above the on-cook, to be honest.
Crazy.
Yeah,
No shot.
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I
but
don't-
my problem is that the only people we know who've at least visited that establishment is Blackbeard, Ace, Luffy, and Smoker. So
And they
Smoker
were all
didn't even
highly.
eat, did he?
No.
Yeah, Smoker didn't
No,
eat,
no,
but
hold
the
on,
brothers
hold on.
were highly satisfied with his food.
They were highly satisfied with his food. Luffy gave him an IOU for whenever he becomes Pirate King. So he is officially the richest man in the world once
This
Luffy
is the
becomes Pirate
Laboon
King.
of cooks. Like they go back around and circumnavigate. And he comes back to there and be like,
Just
hey.
drop off some money, be like, hey, I owe you this. But no, what I was getting at is that it wasn't just the two brothers that were in the restaurant. The entire restaurant was full when Ace was there eating. The entire restaurant was afraid of Ace because they could all see his back and they saw the white beard tattoo on his back the entire time he was sitting there eating. And then Luffy came in and started to eat as well. The entire restaurant was still full at this time.
Yeah,
There
this
wasn't
guy's got
just
drip,
them
too.
two eating. No, he's got drip, of course. But like,
yeah, like I think
in
is
terms
there's
of-
like a star on his shirt. Is this a criminal, like a brand T-shirt or something? Before we ever even get Papa Goo in the story, that's crazy.
I mean, he might have had his influence spread that much. I'm not entirely too sure.
Yeah.
Like, it's the grand line. Any information can travel, and clothing brand is a clothing brand. We saw Doc Soy Panda even before we had any reference of it in the story at all.
I respect this guy. This is a solid pick, Dill. I don't know if I put him near a Yonkook. You know what I mean?
No, I specifically believe he could take on Kamakov.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if he could beat Komakov, but I think he's above Strusen and that.
No,
Yeah.
I definitely believe he can beat out Bumakov.
My problem is that everyone was happy, but it could also be that the people are just they're just relaxed people who just want some good food. But is it the quality food it is to be able to survive at HELLBAF'S kitchen? I'm still not convinced on that aspect.
Well, the thing
So
is,
it's
like,
quality
Ace-
food enough to survive in a desert known as Alabasta that
Is
has
however
prolonged drought due to crocodile.
Ace being half of the at least like a third of the argument here, as far as like the insatiable hunger of an anime protagonist that this guy was able to satisfy. Like I think it's interesting because Thatch was also consistently feeding Ace as well as like tons of other people. So I don't know if this scales him above Thatch. Outside of the fact that this guy did have to work with more constraints, and that is impressive. I would say at or around Thatch level, but I wouldn't say that he's near Strusen or Komakov, honestly. Like, it's close.
Nah, I still think he's got them beat.
So I will put him at 6. Yoshimoto.
I think you mispronounced one.
Yeah, no. You heard it. You heard it correctly. If you want, we can add three numbers afterwards. 9 if you prefer, or 6 could be
Nice.
good. Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, who was your recommendation? I don't even remember. It doesn't even matter in the chef debate.
Who,
He
Goldberg?
can't really cook it up with. He can't cook it up with Yoshimoto.
Yeah, he could outcook Yoshimoto. All right, I'm gonna put Yoshi. I'm the one doing the list right now, but no.
Oh my god.
Dude, you should have just keep it quiet, dude. You're affecting
I
this Annie right now.
You know what? Yeah,
I
you know what?
respect
Yeah.
that.
You
This
can
is
take
a
Goldberg and Cube's pick.
Thatch. I don't know, but like
Yeah,
I
that's about
respect that this is a sleeper pick. This is a guy I personally forgot about, and I did quite a bit of research on food in One Piece for a video before, for a short before, for a couple scripts that are up and coming, and for the stream obviously. But like food's my thing. Food in One Piece is definitely my thing as well, and I forgot about this guy. So I respect the sleeper pick, and I also respect that he had to make do with desert goods, and like probably had to, most of his stuff was through trade. I'm assuming is how he had to stock his restaurant. So solid choice, but I don't know if he's like Yonko Cook level,
I mean, I certainly think he outplaces that no-name bum that barely beat out Jessica and Carmen and all of those other goats.
Oh my goodness. I don't know who you're talking about. None that doesn't fit anyone on our list so far, but I respect
Josh
it though. Solid
is gonna
sleeper
explode.
pick.
Next up is Monsieur Kube.
Okay, that was a weird way to say monsieur, but thank you.
What did you say, Mushu? That's not even close, Cube.
Mushu.
My French was way closer than yours. I don't know what you're talking about.
yeah, definitely. So listen.
Oh, baby, bonjour, I have a baguette.
So we have to think about.
Is that what
we-
Who the
That's so
fuck
good,
just did
Cube.
that?
it was called Doob. It's the dill version of Cube.
Doob. That's
Yeah.
good. Somebody clip that, by the way. I'm gonna soundboard that immediately.
Oh, I am Duba the green seas. I am green, just like the pickle.
So my thing is this, right? You need the cook for Hell's Bath Kitchen. You need someone who is expert, has a culinary expertise, can also defend himself, not scared under pressure. You know, knows how to make quality food, but also should be able to adapt to any environment. Right? Always be present. Let's say there are some giants from Elbaf who are quite close to the island, but cannot get close to their ship. Something's wrong, and they're very hungry, and they need a cook. Who better is it the man that
Bro,
taught
you can't just
everything to the cook,
Can't
to
just
the
retake my pick that I just stated, bro. We get it. Yoshimoto is the goat.
no, dude. Can I finish my speech? And
You were gonna
the
say
cook,
the same character that I just mentioned. I get it. He's good.
yeah. Okay, and the cook I'm talking about is the one who taught the cook who is feeding for the future pirate king, and that is Zeph, the head of the Baratier. And remember, he was able to cook meals for 100 of Gone Creek's crew in a short amount of time. That's why I think he has the props to survive in Hell's Bath's kitchen.
I think
Zeph-
you should let Cube know that there is no cook on Luffy's crew.
There is.
Washed
Yeah,
up,
yeah, he's
no
been just
talent hack. No, I'm kidding.
the Dell's been reading Two Piece. That's why he hasn't gone to that part yet.
I like the Zeph pick because he did train Patty and what, like Hamburg or whatever, so I mean, like
Carne.
How did
Carne.
how did you specifically forget Carne?
Yeah.
Very forgettable character, but no. But I think it's Zeph is an interesting pick, and I thought about including him because he's definitely up there in the rankings. But I knew for a fact Cube was gonna spit this pick. I was like, undoubtable. I didn't want to snipe it from him. You know what I mean?
It's my favorite
But I
cook.
respect
and I
Zeph.
wanna- Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Red
the
Bull.
last point, guys, it takes a lot. We drop, like, all of us drop like amazing cooks, but would your cooks be willing to eat their own leg so that their client will be able to eat themselves? That's the question.
Definitely not Komakov. He's not
Yeah.
on that timing. But
But yeah, Zeph. That's my other candidate.
I think Zeph is a strong candidate for top 3, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
He's
Right
worthy,
below
he has the
Komakov.
knowledge. I think above Komakov, because
Do you think? Hold on. There ain't no.
you think Komakov feeds more celestial dragons in a day than Zeph feeds customers?
I think that they eat more than the people at the Baratier. But
Oh,
Look,
no.
he did in under 10 minutes. He made quality food for the 100 men for the Dawn Creek Pirates.
All right.
yeah, I get that.
But realistically, Zeph does this to make money. Komakov does this to save his own life. They're not the same competition.
yeah, there's like passion and then there's like desperation. I think both are
Think about it.
fantastic motivations. But like,
Who do you
I'm just
want?
saying.
Do you want someone who has a slave mentality or someone who has a freedom mentality? The Giants
I mean,
deserve
first of
someone
all-
who's a free cook.
Komakov is no longer in that mentality. He has thrived within that
Yeah, true.
environment and gotten to the
I won't
point
lie.
where he is confident. He is smiling in the panel that we see him. He is living a good life, but he had to get there forged in flames. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying Zeph hasn't gone through anything or anything. It's just like I'm gonna be completely real. Zeph could have gone and done whatever, and he had the passion to continue to cook and to feed and stuff like that, and I get that. And especially of anyone in the East Blue or even like the first half of the Grand Line, he chumps them all. But like when we're pairing Zeph up against like Yonko cooks or even a Yon cook themselves, this is where I start to like pump the brakes a little bit. Do I think that he's above Thatch? Maybe. Do I think that he's above Strusen? Maybe. Do I put him above Kolmakov? And I'm not like literally anybody else could have said Kolmakov. Like this is not just me saying this because it was my pick. It's just like I honestly do think that there's a reason that Oda put him in the SBS as one of the Yon cooks. And Zeph is probably one of the only people, one of the very select few people that might be on that level. But then there's also like the whole like past your prime argument.
That's
I
fair.
don't think that Zeph is doing it like he used to be.
We always have to look at the argument of the student surpasses the master. It's just such a shame that Zeph
Oh my
didn't have a
God.
suitable student other than Patty and Corn, bro. Those two, they're really holding the Baratier afloat. If they ever went and joined a pirate crew, that crew could become the Pirate King. But, you know, it's such a shame that Zeph doesn't have any A-tier disciples other than those two.
But I just think that with his old age, he's, you know, probably losing a little bit of mobility and a little bit of like his palate. And like he did also cripple himself, you know, so I don't know if he's in peak form, whereas Kolmakov is, that's the apex as far as what Oda has shown us. It's close to it. If it's not there, it's right on the precipice of it. That's
So-
where my head's at.
Should we move Komakov to 2 and put Zeph in 3? Because I think he's above Strusen.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I mean the fact that the client of that the number 2 cook, yeah, I'm not gonna say the name. I'm not gonna butcher it again. Is a Gorsei. That changes a lot. That's my problem. Is that because it's the Gorsei? You know what I mean? If it was not perfection, dude, we wouldn't even know about him. He would be already
Yeah,
gone.
this dude's feeding yokai. Like like
Yeah,
that's
like-
crazy. Like
He's feeding people with such refined palates that they've shaped over hundreds of years. Next up is, I believe, Joshua Victor.
Yeah, so my next pick is someone obvious, one of the main characters, like the cook of the future Pirate King, Sanji
Sanji?
himself.
wait, what?
Yeah, Sanji,
Yeah, you know him.
I'm here. I'm here to help you defend this, Josh.
Yeah, don't
Since
worry.
I know,
I'm also here,
I know
don't worry.
there's some Mimi boys in the chat today.
Yeah, don't worry.
What?
I mean,
Anime.
when someone gets a spin-off just for cooking, and also we know he can make dishes for hundreds of people now. Like after Pankazar, for example.
Knowing
Yeah.
that we've never seen anyone being dissatisfied with eating Sanji's food. Everyone is always blown away to like the almost orgasmic senses, I would say.
And what he did in Whole Cake, literally calmed down Big Mom by himself doing the thing. You know, like he's also good under pressure. Really good.
I can
so-
also calm down Big Mom by doing a thing.
Bro.
Yeah, calm down. Calm down.
I
Calm
do
down,
have
calm
a
down.
point. I do have a point to make against Lucas's point about everyone's blown away. Yeah, his own mother had to fake liking his food. You know, it's kind of sad.
Yeah.
It's sad. It's sad whenever the person who brings you into this world has to hold back throwing up your food while you're in her room, just to as soon as you walk out.
Oh my
immediately
God.
throw it.
Yeah,
What
we're
is
talking about
this
cooking
take?
for we're
but
talking about
a
cooking for
counter-
giants. This guy was cooking for mice. I'm just saying.
Dude, I won't
I
lie.
mean, that was before or after the second, the best cook on the sea.
Another
And also, yeah,
counterpoint, you know, this is one of the big heavy ones, you know, and not a lot of good inspirations can be taken from the 4Kids dub, but I got to bring it back to it, you know, the intro Didn't say anything else about his cooking. Didn't say it was anything great in any of the blues or the Grand Line or the New World. No, it said he's chefing up for the future Pirate King and then cut away from him. Did not touch on him again a single bit.
Yeah. The future Pirate King. Like, I mean, that's the important. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, that's
Feeding
important because
Luffy-
it's Luffy, not Sanji. It said,
mean,
yo ho
He
ho.
feeds Luffy.
took a bite of
he
gum.
feeds
Yeah.
Luffy on a
He's
regular
the-
basis.
Think about this. Dill,
Hey,
think about
I
this.
don't know
Dill.
if you remember this, Lucas. This might be a little bit far back. You also forget that Luffy has cooked for the crew.
Yeah, and it was
Yeah, he
terrible.
got sick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they all got sick.
Hey.
And I'm pretty sure, wasn't that a filler episode with that little girl from Warship Island?
Hey, hey,
You won't remember. I
It still
remember
happens.
exactly.
Okay, my thing is this. Luffy's the best example. If Sanji's cooking was that bad, he would have added someone else because the cooking was so overblown. He always goes back to Sanji's cooking, meaning that Luffy doesn't forget the perfection that is Sanji's cooking.
He even
Unless if
said
you're
it
calling
himself,
Luffy stays there.
without Sanji, he would not be able to become King of the Pirates.
Dude.
King of
Luffy
the
eats raw
castle.
food. What's
King of
your
the castle.
basis for this, dude?
Yeah, Luffy eats bones, dude. I'm sorry. Like, I understand that the sheer volume of food that this hack can pump out is semi impressive, but it's all stolen techniques. He's learned everything from all of the. He's standing on the shoulders of giants, but
That's
that doesn't mean
the-
you can cook for giants.
I mean, think about this, right? This shows the ability of Sanji. He puts his ego aside to make the best quality food for the people. He doesn't think about his own ego. You know what? You like that type of food? I'm gonna learn how to do it
Yeah.
to do it in a different style.
And we know that
Is it-
Sanji doesn't know every single recipe on the entire globe, but he also determines that, from the spin-off that he doesn't know every single recipe, but he determines what would be the best for cooking some sort of dish.
Yeah,
The
and he has
best
that.
cooking feat we've ever seen from him is in Whole Cake, with the Sim Sim whip and like with him making that cake on the fly and stuff like that. So I mean, like, there's an argument that he's at Streusen level, but I wouldn't say any further than that. Like that's me being generous. Like, if I'm being real.
There's a
Yeah,
poll in the chat. Is Sanji the best chef in the verse?
No way.
Best verse, no,
No
but I'll say
way.
this: he's definitely higher than Strussen and Attach for me. Until now, he's proven it for me. The Gorsey cook plus what was the other one we put higher on the list?
Zeph.
Look,
Zeph. Yeah, Zeph. You know what? Yeah, he surpassed Zeph. Yeah, I forgot. I'm not even
That's
propose Zeph.
crazy.
Yeah, to a point.
Zeph made his own leg taste so good he couldn't resist biting it off. That's such a talent. Sanji could never.
I think he
Lucas, you
could.
can see your bias, by the way.
Oh my god.
Can you? I can't vote.
Yeah.
So why is the yes highlighted on the stream?
That's
know.
what I'm saying.
It's highlighted no
Thanks.
on mine.
Lex and Dill,
now
you're being
it's
called out. You're being called out by SSJ8 Cody saying, "I can't believe the Sanji slatter. He's the fourth strongest Straw Hat. Put some respect on his name."
I mean, we're not power scaling though. We're talking about HELLBAF'S kitchen here, baby. Look, with all due respect, Sanji was my first ever favorite character in all of One Piece, and I have mad love for the boy. And like, it's. Do I think he's top of the verse? Absolutely not. Do I think that he's competent and has earned his right amongst other Yonko cooks? Yes. Yonkooks? No. Yonko cooks? Yes.
I have him at number 2, Kamakov at number 1, and Zeph at number 3 at the moment.
That's all right. I'm fine with that.
I'm
They're
not.
all about to slide down.
Zeph still trumps him.
Do you think Zeph trumps him?
Yep.
It's close. There's a possibility. I absolutely think that
I mean,
it's kind
not.
of a coin toss.
I
between
don't
the two
remember
of
if
them,
it's
in my
canon
opinion.
or not, but I'm pretty sure that Zeph got beat at a cook-off contest by a monkey. So like,
Wow.
like I'm pretty sure that
Crazy.
happened.
But Luffy cooking for the crew can't stand in the argument because it was non-canon. Okay.
I mean, half of the cooks in all of One Piece are non-canon, so I
This
mean,
is facts.
I don't think that's necessarily something to discredit any arguments in this stream. But like, there's no way Sanji is top in the verse. Like, if he
No, but he is.
maybe beats Zeph.
I
On
think
what
he beats
basis
Zeph.
Zeph is better than Sanji?
Bro, Cody's got me
Experience.
dying in the chat. He said Sanji might be top 20.
No, for me, honestly, for me, he's surpassed Zeph. I think
think so as
Sasuke
well.
has shown it. Yeah, especially that thing I think it was whole cake where he just smells and can tell certain ingredients, which is for me is a
This
crazy
guy's-
skill.
Oh brother, this guy stinks. Like, I'm sorry, that's the way you said it. Like,
He
The
just
fact
smells.
he could defer the different. It's something similar that we've seen with Nami and Brooke with their expertise. You know, that sixth sense, which definitely puts me like that's a
Yeah,
gift.
he
at
has
this
like the
point.
voice of all things for cooking.
okay, bro,
If only
just
it
wait.
could be used in combat.
Just wait till that comes back around to me. Oh shit, it is me. Like,
It is you. It is you.
okay, so I have 2 honorable mentions that I can spit, but you're about to have to scoot everybody on that list down, because there's only one real answer for who the top of the verse is. And as much as I love Kolmakov, as much as I respect Zeph and all of the Yonko cooks, and I even Wanzi, there is only one correct answer. This is somebody who I think Cody's probably gonna vibe with pretty hard. Somebody who, again, maybe not be a part of the official canon, but filler counts for the purpose of this stream. We went over that in a pre-stream discussion in the meeting. I gotta spit for my guy Komatsu from the One Piece Toriko crossover.
Oh my
Top of the
god!
verse. Not even close. Literally not even close. Cooking is their entire universe's like superpower. This guy actually has the voice of all things for cooking. He literally can speak to ingredients and they tell him like how to prepare him the most delicious way. He has like he literally has gourmet cells in his body that help him execute food. That like there's a dish in Toriko that's supposed to take 600,000 years to cook, and he cooks it in less than 65 years. Like, this dude has a knife that's formed from a dragon tooth that can literally cut a mountain in half just by dropping it. This guy he cooked over a mile-long dish for like Toriko to eat at one point in time. There's like Komatsu is he's ranked 88th as far as like the top gourmet cooks or whatever in Toriko, but he literally taught the 15th like ranked person in that entire verse. And this is like literally like the power scaling isn't even close when it comes to Toriko and One Piece. I'm gonna be completely real. Like, this dude's cooked a dish where the ingredient he had to catch for the dish was faster than the speed of light. Like, this guy is insane, and it's not even close. Like, this is absolutely indisputably, this dude has got to be the top of the verse. In the One Piece crossover, they find a devil fruit, and Toriko wants to eat it, so he has Komatsu eat it, or no, he has Komatsu cook it and whatnot. They find out later it's not a devil fruit, but he was still able to make it taste delicious. Do you know what he made taste delicious? A literal piece of shit. He literally made this.
Yeah, but listen, in
amazing.
that crossover, they're not in the One Piece world. They're on an island in the Toriko world.
No. They're in the
Yes.
One Piece world.
No.
In the
Crossover episode.
So you're saying the Straw Hats travel interplanarily? No, in the
For that one, yeah.
world of the crossover, they exist simultaneously. They're interposed.
That doesn't make it in the One Piece world, though.
He's going to clear HELLBAF'S kitchen. and he would literally wipe the floor with
I'm gonna
anybody
put this guy
in the
tenth
One Piece
place.
verse. There's no way. There's literally no way. He is the absolute pinnacle. And like what he's saying right now, in possibly all of fiction, as far as like
Yeah,
people who are able to like cook.
I think someone's been taking too much of the green fairy of Elbaf right now because this is. I love the energy. I love the energy, but man,
If they're not in the One Piece world, how's this fool finding like a devil fruit? I mean, it wasn't an actual devil fruit, but everybody was convinced that they found a devil fruit. Like, come on, like this is in the realm of the episode of the special. The worlds are one and the same. So according to that filler, which filler still counts, according to that filler, the world of Dragon Ball Z, the world of Toriko, and the world of One Piece are all in the same verse.
But didn't you say he was not a devil fruit?
No, it was actually a piece of shit. But he still made that like the most delicious thing any one of them had ever eaten.
yeah, I'm sorry if you do that to me. The only thing you're gonna be is 6 feet
know.
under. 6 feet under.
But even beyond that, he was able to take simple, common ingredients
So-
and cook for like the head of the gourmet like society. This person is somebody who is unimpressed by the number one, like literally all of the top cooks in the entire universe, and this is like a universe where it's literally a gourmet world. Like this is their superpower. Like this guy, the president of the gourmet society or whatever, he is constantly eating the best foods in the entire verse, and he's not impressed. And then Komatsu comes around with simple, common, normal ingredients and is able to make this guy gasp.
It is in the Toriko world.
Wait.
It is
I was
hosted
just about to
by
say that.
the International Gourmet Organization, which is an organization of the Toriko world. It is in the Toriko world.
I was gonna say it's is a location solely appearing in the manga special Cross Epoch One Piece X Toriko. And then if you go to Gourmet Island and all of that, it's in the Toriko verse, my boy.
I mean, regardless, he still cooked for the king of the pirates. And like, if he were like, there is a way that he was cooking for individuals in the One Piece world. If he were to cook for the giants of Elbaf, nobody's beating him.
I think I can agree on that because, like, from his series, he is goated as fuck. But this is like a zero spot situation, like Charlos and Law and Hiraluk in the last episode that we did of this like thing.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's about the verse. Like, even if he's not on the same planet, like NL's not on the same planet.
He's not in the same verse. He was for that episode.
Yeah.
So
Listen.
the way that the article is describing it is it's technically like it's in neither verse. It's like a mutual ground that they have in the creation between the two mangakas of the respective series. They have like the
It's
place
his
is
own verse.
It's not even
Well,
the
his
same
food-
continuity.
His food
it's not in
touched the
Toriko
lips.
and it's not in One Piece. It's a bridge that's in between them, created by the two mangakas.
Yeah, the Bifrost. Elbaf.
My fucking god!
No, but either way, his food has touched the like characters of the One Piece verse have been graced by this person's culinary feats, and so I say that this is top of the extended verse. I'll go ahead and say that.
Okay, and this I'm gonna say, if the guy was such a great cook for the story, Oda would make him canon. He did the worst thing. He didn't make him not canon. He made part of a crossover. Enough said. Put that
It's
man
not
out of the.
his-
That,
It's not his character. Oda wouldn't.
I
That's
was-
not it. That's literally
I was
somebody
gonna
else's
say-
intellectual property.
I haven't seen Komatsu in a single panel of One Piece.
That
exactly.
doesn't matter.
No, it does.
It
We
does.
literally said before in the meeting that because there is a limited amount of choices, filler is acceptable.
No. But
We
he has
didn't.
to be able to for HELLBAF'S kitchen. I mean, I agree with Pillar, but it's one of those cooks in the One Piece verse that cannot set foot in the HELLBAF'S kitchen because he can't be on HELLBAF because he's not in this verse. He's in
Yeah, he
the
can't
in a
come
different
to
verse.
Hellbath.
That's my thing. Yeah, that's my thing. He can't even put his foot there.
I put him at 0. Like, if he was able to get to HELLBAF, yes, he would outdo most of the candidates listed here. But like,
Every single one of the candidates, literally all
Okay.
of them. It's not even
have you
close.
even read Toriko?
I've read extensively on the wiki, researching this specifically for this stream.
I'm sure he just did. He did.
So he a
ChatGPT.
fraud.
Give me the
dude
best
has
candidate.
FTL feats. Dude has a knife that can casually cut through a mountain. He is able to cure diseases on the spot with simple ingredients just by preparing them properly. This guy was able to cut down prep times by like a billionth of the percentage. Like this dude, he is unreal and unrivaled in the One Piece world. Nobody.
He's
comes
not from
close.
he's not in the One Piece world.
He's in the extended
Yeah.
One Piece Dragon Ball Toriko universe. It counts.
It doesn't.
It does.
You
We said
remember
canon
that
counts.
first word you said? You remember that first word you said? Extended.
Yeah,
Extended.
it counts.
And we said
Oh my
fillers
goodness.
count, not specials.
I mean, no, that's playing it fast and
y'all-
loose.
Y'all are trying to split hairs here just because I got the number one pick. That's
No, you are trying to. You
Yeah, no.
None of us think you have the number one pick, my man.
Yeah. The fact
That
that
is the
Dill,
number one pick.
it's the first time that Dill, Josh, and Lucas and I agree on the same thing this whole time in the stream. You should look
Nobody is
inwards.
beating Komatsu. None of them. They're not even coming close.
I mean, the fact that he can't even set foot in the same verse as them is, of course, he can't because they can't even interact with him.
I'm gonna move on to my last choice. Didn't you say you had some special mentions, Vex?
I do.
Oh, I'm scared.
Or did you want me to say them now, or did you want to
Yes.
go on to your...
No, yeah, you can say
Okay,
them
because
now.
you said I'm gonna go on to my last choice, and then you said something else. So I was like, what do I do? I think that one of the most obvious choices is, like Nak had said in the chat earlier, is Ivankov. Somebody who taught that hack bum talentless straw hat cook that
Oh my God.
like 99 of the most useful recipes that he's ever known, and he only ever used 2 of them. But Ivankov was somebody who was able to not only be knowledgeable of all 99 of the attack cuisine and Nukama Kempo, but normally you have to master Nukama Kempo in order to even learn one of these recipes. Ivankov was somebody who was able to bypass that and was like, all Sanji had to do was simply defeat 99 masters and not learn any of the Nukama techniques, and he would be taught all of these recipes. And apparently, allegedly, this bum had learned 99 of these recipes, but we've only seen 2 of them in story. But like, clearly Ivankov knows all 99 of them, and they are not quite Toriko level of feats. He's not, they're not like,
Oh my God. Get off Toriko.
they're not like curing diseases or anything like that, but they are putting you to the peak, the pinnacle of what One Piece canon humans can exert, and like things like that. Like it does enhance your fighting capabilities, your strength, your durability, and things like that. So it's pretty crazy.
I mean, we all know Ivankov being a Rev, such a high-ranking Rev, has 99 problems, and being a cook or Nakama isn't one, so I would agree on that one with Ivankov as well.
So I think that's an honorable mention for me, but I don't know where I would necessarily rank them on this list, because like I think that being somebody who is that knowledgeable of food, not necessarily deemed as a cook, they themselves are a doctor, but somebody who is that knowledgeable of food and health and things like that, I think that there's a really good argument that they would be at or around Yonko cook level. potentially above Thatch and maybe even above Strusen. I don't know about like top 3, but I think that Ivankov's pretty up there.
I would agree. To know the 99 attack cuisines in itself is just an amazing feat.
Yeah, say that sentence again, but in English.
No, I was yawning. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we didn't get a word. That's fine.
I was yawning because I heard Toriko so many times.
Wow.
I'm joking. I've never read the series. I'm not gonna crap on it like that. But no, yeah. I think Ivankov knowing the 99 attack cuisines is very, very, very telling of their character entirely. And plus, if they're that good of a cook, they gotta be cooking for the revs, right? Like,
I mean, yeah, okay, I'm complete Devil's advocate. It's the one group that might be the most open-minded on someone making a bad meal but since they meant well, they'll let it slide. I do feel like the revs might have that good heart. I'm playing that Devil's advocate, even though I love my boy Ivankov.
They're not making a bad meal though. You know what I'm saying? Like they're peak like that.
Yeah, and and Ivankov could always inject something extra, with his tofu. So always a fun time with Ivankov.
Yeah, with Morley being a close, connected friend, basically family at this point to Ivankov, like a legitimate comrade, for the past like how many years? Like 30 years or something. Like so
yeah.
It's like it's there's confirmed feats of Ivankov being able to sustain a giant as well as an army.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Big facts.
So I feel like that's a huge feat there, but that's not even my like that's the safe pick. I got another.
Who's your
one.
other honorable mention?
Is the man, the myth, the legend himself, who had that bum Straw Hat Cook's jaw on the floor when they met him, although it's not canon and it wasn't filler. It's the boy Pans Fry.
Oh my goodness.
This is a legend. This is a guy who Sanji had heard about. He's just like, oh my, this is like the Paul Bunyan of cooking. Yeah. Like this is like Johnny Appleseed type of, like, this guy is like so like mythologically renowned. Sanji was like floored whenever they met this guy. He's using volcanoes to prepare large batch prep like foods and stuff like that. This is a guy who can survive HELLBAF'S kitchen. Is he gonna be top 1? I don't know, but he is gonna do fantastic, I think.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he's one of the filler characters I've always really enjoyed watching. Sorry, go ahead, Bill.
I was going to explain to Kube. He's from Z's Ambition arc. He's the female Lillian Stomach's father.
Okay. Yeah. No, I kind of remember. I can remember.
Yeah, but yeah, he's like childhood friends with Dorian Brogy.
Yeah.
And like this dude is like he is an actual giant who is like legitimately using natural disasters to help cook phenomenal food. It's insane. Like
I'm
this
just gonna say
him.
This is definitely the archetype that Goldberg was based off of. I don't see why we can't apply those same feats to Goldberg.
Because Goldberg isn't renowned historically by cooks across the world. Like Pans
you don't know that.
Hold on. No, Lucas. You can't say that when part of the lore of Pans Fry is that he was childhood friends with Dorian Brogy. Goldberg isn't old enough to be childhood friends with Dorian Brogy.
He isn't even old enough to have ever met them before the fight started.
Guys, it's the first time on stream that I'm going to give some sort of Vex. Don't let it go to your head. I'm going to give some points towards Vex. One of his meals is literally based off Sea King meat. If that doesn't tell you he could survive HELLBAF'S kitchen, I don't know what is. That Sea King is crazy. Able to cook Sea King meat. They're not easy animals to get rid of.
Over the volcano.
Yeah, I remember. I forgot it was Sea Kings. It's been so long with that's specific storyline. That's why.
But
That's
this guy's
like
like a whole. Yeah, this guy's like a whole urban legend. Like this guy is like, he is coveted. Like if there's a Mount Rushmore of like modern cooking, like Goliaths, this guy's face is on it.
Yeah,
and Wanzi stands above it because he doesn't need to be recognized.
Oh my
Lucas,
goodness.
Lucas, what are we doing? Let's send him a request since he's if I'm not mistaken non canon, right? Or he's canon. Or just filler,
He's
right?
not.
He's filler.
He's
filler.
he's filler.
Yeah, he's filler.
Yeah, okay, since he's filler, he's not in the story yet. Send him a request. Let's trade him for Vex. Bet we found a better
Okay,
cook. We found a better. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks, Vex, for finding us your replacement. No, I'm just kidding.
And you don't have to worry about training him like normally at restaurants. You know how you have to train your replacement and then you get canned? No.
But like the thing that I like about him the most is that he's like a Robin Hood. You know, like he like steals from like the Komakovs and like the celestial dragons of the world and goes and cooks for the less fortunate in batches of thousands at a time, like literally in mass. This guy is a good heart. He's passionate. He's somebody who's been doing this for hundreds of years. Like he has more experience than literally anybody else on the list. So I mean, I don't know, honestly, could be top one.
Yeah. My last pick, guys, last pick of the stream here is
I'm just kidding.
Charlotte Chiffon.
No way.
I'm dead fucking serious. Dude, she's a baker.
Wait.
She's the minister
No,
of
wait.
she's a baker. A baker knows how to prepare any type of meal because they know the precision it takes to get a recipe correctly. I think that she would definitely have a standing in HELLBAF'S kitchen.
And let's give it up. She's also the wife of Beige, and as you know, he's from mob Italian inspiration. You know how they love their cooking. Italians don't kid around with food.
You're putting you're thinking like if she's getting ranked, there's no way she's getting above like Thatch. I don't put her above Goldberg. I'll put her above Wanzi maybe.
No, I think she's about.
Whoa! What's up with this onesie slander? Why are you slandering the top one cook in the verse?
I think she's a Yonko cook.
Barely. She's like
Not
third
barely.
string. If we're like no,
She was
ain't
one
no
of
way.
the 70 Yonko cooks.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a pretty. There's a wide berth there. Like,
All right, so hold on. All right, so y'all were discounting Thatch whenever his entire crew underneath him would have been cooks, but you won't discount Chiffon whenever literally there is an entire crew's worth of cooks other than her that do more than her.
She baked an entire island, bro.
Oh wow. That's impressive. That's a feat.
that is kind of impressive.
Does it withstand the elements?
Yes.
At least she doesn't make her food out of her nostrils.
Big facts.
He uses raw ingredients and dedicates the time and effort to manipulating his body to a certain degree to be able to perform those tasks of making those noodles.
Nah, he a boogeyman.
I haven't seen Chiffon bake a single thing.
And listen
here.
for being the de facto French person here, for being the person who's from the French culture here, and I know my bread. She's
You
legit.
heard it. He called himself a French person.
Yeah, I mean I speak French, so yeah, I'm a French person.
No, I think that the argument for her as a baker, it's like if you're crafting recipes like as a baker, like that's one thing. If you're following recipes as a baker, that's another thing. And so this is like I can't say that alone is gonna put you above like the rest of the contestants or the entrants that we have here. I literally think that the highest I would be able to put her is just above Wanzi, and that's a maybe.
I don't know, man. Married to
I think
Beige. No, definitely above 1Z.
How is that a feat?
I'm thinking
How is that a feat?
it's a feat. Dude, she's taking the tank of the fire tank pirates. You think that's an easy feat? Nah. You know
How
he's
does that
pouring
have
that
anything to do
conqueror's
with-
hockey out.
How does that have anything to do with how she cooks?
Yeah. Plus,
She's
we
She's
still
getting the
haven't
baby
seen her
batter
cook.
so she can go make the batter, dude. What are you talking about? Like,
That's wow. What a
Wild.
what a crazy time to be on stream.
Where are we putting her?
The
Last.
highest would be like 8, like
Yeah,
or 9.
above
maybe.
onesie, maybe.
Well, definitely
Definitely
above
above
one.
Guys,
onesie.
all I've heard this entire time is 2 people are saying above onesie, maybe. And
3
that's from the
people are
entire rest of
saying
the
above.
and that's for the entire rest of the stream where they've been saying that Wanzi is dead last. So from the fact that they are considering putting Chiffon in last means that she should be in last.
I'm also considering putting onesie on last. So by that same
For the
argument.
sanitary understanding of all of it,
Well,
but
no,
it
from the
can be
proportion
cooked
side
out.
of it as well, which is the whole reason why I said that Goldberg squeaked ahead, is because he was able to actually cook 4 giants, and Chiffon she is credited with being able to cook ridiculously large amounts of food. So that's the only reason why I would like honestly squeak her ahead, not necessarily just accounting for the sanitary stuff.
Exactly. So
So,
Charlotte
in
Chiffon,
that
top of the
regard-
verse, heard.
No.
Wow.
All right, that is not even what that was reduced to. But all right, what I was gonna say is, have you ever tried to eat 3 packets of ramen noodles?
Yeah, it's
I've done it.
delicious.
Yeah, we've all
Okay,
been through
now
I've been
answer
to
me this.
university.
Do you
Yeah,
have
I've
any
been to college,
room
Jill.
for? Do you have any room for anything else after the 3 packets of ramen that you eat?
If
After
I'm an
what?
anime
I did.
protagonist, you bet your ass I do. If I'm a giant, you bet your ass I do.
Hey, all I'm saying is portion size. You can eat a bowl of noodles, go back for another one, and in that time, he's already got the next batch ready.
My
It's
goodness.
literally perfect. You don't have to worry about, oh, let me gorge myself on all these noodles because I won't ever be able to eat them again. No, bro takes 30 seconds to make another batch of noodles and then maybe 2 minutes to cook them.
In his body. That's the whole part that's bad.
That's
though,
the
Jill.
Yeah, also
making
with
them
boogers.
portion. That's the making them portion, not the cooking them.
That's true.
Still not sanitary, like.
Oh no, it's not sanitary. You can cook them. That's
Well,
literally
wait,
how
hold
you
on.
get rid of
A
diseases and
ton-
infections and bacteria in the real
But
world.
that's not gonna get rid of everything. Like just like if you're deep frying it, maybe, which goes up to like 350 plus degrees like Fahrenheit, but boiling water is only gonna get you to 212, and that doesn't make everything sanitized. First of all, second of all, nothing at Whole Cake Island is sanitary either. It rains fucking syrup over there, and they're living in chocolate houses and shit. Like it, all of those ingredients are tainted as well. So Chiffon's probably not on the sanitary side of things either.
Yeah, but Wanzi is definitely not on the sanitary side. That he's the least sanitary, that's for sure.
Yeah, but Wanzi can keep up with the demands of giants.
I mean, listen. I'm just saying, if it's flu season, Wanzi is the most useless cook because dude won't be able to even release what he's supposed to release. Yes, I said release.
No, actually,
Pause.
he would be better if he was sick, because then he's constantly making noodles. All he has to do is keep on eating flour and the other ingredients, and then he
I
can
hate
constantly keep on making them.
I'm never
It's
eating.
disgusting.
If I ever
It's
meet you in real life,
disgusting.
I'm never eating at your home. Just saying that.
Yeah. Same, big same. Like it's crazy.
You know, Lucas, go ahead and drop that list in the chat, and also drop who had recommended each one. Because all I'm saying is there were some people on the Whitebeard Pirates crew that didn't like Thatch's cooking, and it ended up with a knife in his back. That's all I'm saying.
It's completely unrelated, but okay.
No, it was. It was actually completely related. Thatch was holding out on ingredients, and one of the crew members said, "You know what? I want that ingredient. Give it."
That's a prime
Oh.
waffle if I've ever seen one. Like, but
Oh,
I
you're
don't
right.
know.
My bad. You got that.
I feel like I don't know. Like I don't think that honestly. I'm with most of these people. I'm thinking that they will succeed in whatever the heck HELLBAF'S kitchen is, they will do fine. Just surviving, except onesie and chiffon. I think those are going to be the two hardest ones to actually even succeed in the
You're
slightest.
disrespecting the Charlotte name.
She's not even the best cook in Totoland. Like, why would she be top of the verse?
Because she is.
He's not even the best cook with the Charlotte name.
You know what? You guys are right. I posted those in chat. I think we're gonna call it here. Anybody want to promote anything before we get off stream?
Yeah, check out Rambling Addiction. This shit's
Oh, thank
goated. Yeah, go check out whatever the weekly reads that Straw Hat Lucas and Joshua Victor are going to be posting soon to this channel, right?
Yes, that's coming out tonight. Knack,
yeah.
I know I was
Go
gonna
check
mention
out-
Pudding, but I felt like she wouldn't have been able to survive in HELLBAF'S kitchen.
No shot. Go check out Group 3 over on Diregulus's channel where Dill is a player, and shit's getting real over there. The stakes have never been higher. The Hagen coronation is absolutely popping off.
Also,
Go
sorry.
ahead.
Also, since he's in the chat, you should also check out Knack Reacts. He's getting to his JJK reactions. It's fire. Check him out for those who are still
Hell
here.
yeah. He
Yeah,
just
my
had
boy-
an episode drop.
Yeah, he just had his first little deal of JJK Heartbreak.
Oh my god. Chill. Then you can go check out my channel as well. Link in the description for whenever Group 2 returns. We'll be one man short this next upcoming Tuesday, but the vibes will be aplenty.
Always. But yes, I've been Straw Hat Lucas for the Eternal Dawn. We do what we do. We will see you guys next week and potentially Saturday this week with a stream. We'll have more info on that in the next few days. But next week we're doing a theory stream, so I want everybody to come. We're going to be discussing all of our predictions for HELLBAF. As Vex said, check out Rambling Addiction. Episode this week comes out on Thursday or Friday. I'm still editing it at the moment. Check out Weekly Reads. Kube and Knack have some content they're cooking for the channel right now. Big things are coming. Big things. Yes. Kube, sign us off, brother.
We'll see you all at the next sunrise. Peace out.
What?